Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. Some more Pokemon announcements have been made. We also have some Mega Zygarde leak updates to go over. Some Nintendo Switch 2 details have also been revealed regarding the Pro Controller and a few other things. There's a lot of things to break down today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's quickly go over some more Pokemon announcements. We have Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, a new short web animation has been released to celebrate Earth Day called Pokemon Ecology Diary. This is a really cool little mini short animation. I definitely recommend you check it out. I really love these little ones that they do because the animation is just so fluent and it's just really, really nice to watch. They're not crazy long or anything like that, but if the actual Pokemon anime was like this, it'd be so much better. Obviously, it's not feasible because there's so many more frames in these little shorts as compared to the anime, but it's still something really cool to see every now and again. But anyway, this is now live. You can go and watch it right now. And as well as that, there's a small update to the Pokemon kind of Pokecology thing that was announced yesterday. We covered it in yesterday's video. Obviously, Cerebi here tweeting out about it, saying it releases the 18th of June 2025 in Japan. You know, it will detail how Pokemon live and the differences in their ecology. But we also have Pokesutami talking about this as well, who of course is one of the main, if not the main translator in the community, saying Pokemon Encyclopedia, Pokecology, 192 pages long, so it's going to have a lot of content in it. June the 18th is going to be the Japan release. Again, hopefully it comes to the West and stuff and everything like that, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. It's still going to be really cool to see all the pictures and stuff because we know the artist. I showed them yesterday. Really know what they're doing when they're kind of designing these sort of creatures and stuff. So seeing that in kind of Pokemon form is going to be very exciting. And then the supposed topics are going to be Pokemon's appearances and forms. So it might go into detail a lot about Pokemon forms such as Galarian forms, Hisuian forms, Alolan forms, maybe even the Convergent evolution, stuff like that. The lives of Pokemon could also be covered. The relationships between Pokemon could also be covered. And then also Pokemon mobility could also be covered as well. Written and illustrated by PhD holders in the field of animal behavior and ecology studies. This will likely be released only in Japanese, according to Pokesutami. So again, hopefully it comes out everywhere else, but it may not. And of course, she already has plans in the work about it. So even if it doesn't get released in the West, it's still going to get translated. We're still going to see all the really cool images. I'm still really excited about it. Probably not going to be able to get my hands on it, but at the end of the day, still going to be a really cool thing to see. Moving on, let's talk about Pokemon Legends ZA leak updates. We have a leak update here regarding Mega Zygarde. So we have Riddler-Ku here posting this image here of, I'm not sure what it is. It looks like some sort of warrior or something, and they're holding something above their head. Again, this is just a riddle from Riddler-Ku, but we actually now know that this is about Mega Zygarde, and we have a very good idea of what Mega Zygarde is also going to look like as well, which we're going to cover in a second. But this was the first riddle that he posted, and then he also posted this banana as well, which again, I don't know if this is also to do with Mega Zygarde or is just to do with something completely different. Not really too sure about that one, but this one is definitely about Mega Zygarde. We also have Zhang kind of confirming this as well, saying yeah, it's going to be Mega Zygarde, who again isn't a leaker, but they do know kind of like a little bit of extra information than the rest of us. But yeah, this is basically how Mega Zygarde is going to look. And a more detailed like kind of image of Mega Zygarde is this here. This was posted by Arma Shinu again. This was drawn by Ryan the Drawer, but this is what Mega Zygarde is going to look like. So the sort of kind of wings that it has, which we know are wings because they detailed that in a recent Pokemon Legends ZA post on the website. So those wings sort of like go up and then they kind of have this crystal. I don't know where this crystal comes from, but this crystal appears and the wings sort of hold that up. And then also you can kind of see like the legs and stuff and the tail. It kind of like the bottom of the body just kind of like goes up to the top and then I guess produces this crystal. Again, it very much looks similar to Zygarde's 100% form. I'm still very amazed that we're getting a Mega Zygarde because we already have the 100% form, and like how are they going to differ? Obviously the design's going to be different, but in terms of stats and abilities and stuff like that, how is it going to differ? Like which one's going to be stronger? Because how can something be stronger than the 100% form? And then as well as that, does it need to be in the 100% form to Mega Evolve? Or can you Mega Evolve into it from like the 10% form or the 50% form or something like that? because obviously 100% form, you kind of need to go and collect all the cells. So will we have to do all of this before we can Mega Evolve Zygarde? It's hard to say, really. Again, it hasn't been revealed, but there's a lot of sort of questions surrounding how Zygarde is going to Mega Evolve. Is it going to need an item like Mega Rayquaza doesn't? Are held items even in this game? We're still unsure about that, but at the end of the day, this is what Mega Zygarde is going to look like. And what are your thoughts on this design? I don't mind it. Again, it doesn't really change all that much. I would have much preferred to be getting Mega Xerneas and Mega Yveltal, which we could still get. Hasn't been confirmed yet. Obviously, there's like 4 or 5 new Mega Evolutions, like we covered in yesterday's video, that we're not sure about. Obviously, one is for Generation 5, one is for Generation 7. But in regards to the other Mega Evolutions we don't know about, that could definitely be Xerneas and Yveltal. But yeah, Zygarde definitely getting one. This is what it's going to look like. What are your opinions on it? Like I say, I'm not a massive fan of it because it looks very similar to Zygarde's 100% form. It is what it is, though. We'll have to see how it kind of intertwines itself into the story. It's going to be to do with like Prism Tower and all that, most likely. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Mega Zygarde. Do you like the design, or are you not really a fan of it? Coming up next, I wanted to go over this post on the r/LegendZA Reddit. They're talking about how the game being pushed back doesn't necessarily mean that the game has had more development time, because obviously this game was supposed to come out 2024 with DLC in June 2025, and because it's been pushed back all the way to late 2025, a lot of people are saying, well, then it's going to have so much more development time. But we already know that the game was basically almost complete in 2024 because it was leaked in the Terra Leak. So the fact that the game was already done, does that mean they were going to be polishing it all this time? I just wanted to quickly go over this. They say LegendZA not coming out in 2024 was not an additional year of development time, and Game Freak taking their time this time to polish the game, but only a delay so that they could justify releasing it simultaneously on the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. Don't get me wrong, I will still play and enjoy this game, but after seeing how they cut corners in every Switch mainline game, and even on the last 3DS installments, this realization has made me a little bit sad. I really thought they'd take their time to polish everything, but according to the Terra Leak, ZA was in almost a finished state, meaning they probably barely added anything significant between 2024 and 2025. And we have some updates to this as well, like some comments about it, saying, you know, literally making anything up to get upset about. If the game was already near a finished state when the leak happened, that means they spent the extra time at polishing it. So I kind of see both sides of the argument. This first person is saying, well, the game was basically completed in 2024. Are they really going to spend another year like adding extra things to it? Are they going to spend that extra year polishing it? You'd like to think. We also know that in January they basically came out and said that the game was done. They were just kind of adding like tweaks and stuff to it. So they've been basically polishing this game and adding like kind of like small tweaks to it for over a year by the time this game comes out. So you'd be really expecting nothing to be wrong with it, like no kind of massive issues and glitches and stuff like we had with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but you just never know. It would have been nice if they added like loads of new content, because obviously with the Terra Leak, that's just going off this like early build. So if we had all that extra time, you'd like to think they might have added some more content that wouldn't have been leaked in the Terra Leak, because obviously it would have been added after that kind of initial leak. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the game is going to be getting kind of polished like this whole time, or do you think that they've basically finished the game and they're just kind of done with it way back in 2024? It's definitely an interesting thing to think about. Coming up next, we have some new updates regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. This was a post by GameRant saying the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller will have a lot of similarities to the original Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, but it has one big advantage. So this is obviously, as somebody getting the Pro Controller, this is good news for me. I assume a lot of you guys are getting the Pro Controller. It's going to be good news for you. But anyway, Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller has one big advantage over the original. So the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller hasn't reached gamers yet, but it already has a significant advantage over its predecessor in its charging time. So gamers using the new Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller will be able to spend less time tethered or waiting for their controller to finish charging before using it. The Nintendo Switch 2 is still a couple of months out at time of writing, but gamers are eager to learn everything they can about the upcoming gaming device. Nintendo has announced a lot of exciting new features coming to the new system, and pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 will soon open. Of course, they do go live on Thursday in America and Canada. They're already in live in pretty much everywhere else, but just remember that. I'm sure you're all aware of that, but just remember. However, there are still some interesting bits of information coming out about the new system and its accessories. So now on the official Nintendo website, information about the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller has come to light, revealing that it will take significantly less time to charge than its predecessor. The original Nintendo Switch Pro Controller takes 6 hours to achieve a full charge, but the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller will take about half of that, filling its battery with 3.5 hours on the charger. So like its predecessor, the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller will offer players 40 hours of gameplay on a full charge, so users should be able to get a significant amount of time playing even without charging the battery to 100%. So yeah, it's just another kind of bonus from having the Pro Controller. Like, yeah, it is very expensive. Obviously, it's gone up in price as well in America and stuff. But you are getting 40 hours of kind of playtime out of it before having to charge it, and now it takes half the time pretty much to charge the controller as well. So yeah, I mean, I've never had a Pro Controller. I've always had kind of like the third-party ones that are just wired and stuff. They're nothing crazy, but now that I'm going to be getting the Switch 2 Pro Controller, kind of hearing things like this is going to be really good, because I don't have to worry about it potentially going out of charge if I've just charged it. You know, it's going to be good stuff. And then it goes on to say Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller changes and similarities. So, although the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller shares a battery life with its predecessor, there are some distinct differences between the two devices. Aside from the new buttons on the back of the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller and its new C button for game chat functions, the Switch 2 Pro Controller actually has a smaller battery than the original. The Switch 2 Pro Controller will feature a 1070 mAh battery versus the original's 1300 AH. The Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller will also weigh just slightly less, coming in at 235 grams versus the original's 246 grams, so an 11 grams difference there. Unfortunately, not all the news regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller is good though. The device will cost more than originally intended, with the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller now costing $84.99, up a little over 6% from its original MSRP of $79.99. While the original cost for the console itself will remain the same, a number of Nintendo Switch 2 accessories are seeing their prices go up. Nintendo says this is due to changes in the market conditions. Like I say, we covered that recently when they announced the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders in America and Canada. Basically, every accessory is going up in price. I think like Joy-Cons are like $90 now, $95. Is kind of crazy. It's so expensive. Gaming is just like a luxury now. Honestly, it's not something that everyone's going to be able to do, which is a massive shame. But either way, hopefully the prices do go down, but again, it's just not looking like that. At least the Switch 2 itself is not gone up. Again, we'll have to see what happens after this 90-day period, but as of right now, you know, it's the same price. But anyway, that's the new updates regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. Finishing things off, we have another update to go over about the Nintendo Switch 2. This was posted by VGC, saying references to VRR support for the Nintendo Switch 2 have been disappearing from Nintendo's official website. So VRR was mentioned during the Nintendo Switch 2's reveal, but it's now gone from several Nintendo websites. So Nintendo has removed several references to VRR support from the official Nintendo Switch 2 website. So as part of Nintendo's Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, the firm announced that the new console would support 4K, 120 FPS, and VRR. Now, Nintendo has seemingly removed mentions of VRR from several official websites. As noted by Digital Foundry's Oliver McKenzie, mentions of VRR have been removed from some certain regional Nintendo websites. At the time of writing, mentions of VRR have been removed from the Canadian, US, and Japanese versions of the website. VGC can confirm at the time of writing that the text is still present on the European version of the website, but it is possible that Nintendo is in the process of removing it from all versions of the website and has yet to update its European site. So some weird stuff going on Nintendo. Looks like they've changed their US website to no longer mention VRR support for TV play. Only HDR and 120Hz support got a call out. So VRR, or variable refresh rate, allows supported TVs to display unconventional frame rates in order to provide a smoother experience. This allows games with uncapped frame rates to have wider performance flexibility in intense areas. VGC has contacted Nintendo for comment on the story. Switch 2 will be released worldwide on Thursday, June the 5th, as a standalone console and a bundled version with an included download code for Mario Kart World. Nintendo will hold a Mario Kart World Direct later today. Of course, this was posted before, and the Nintendo Mario Kart World Direct will provide detailed information, yada yada yada. So yeah, a little bit worrying why they've removed this. Does it mean they're just kind of not having it on the console now? But again, why would they initially promote it if only a couple weeks later they were going to get rid of it. So I don't know, like they wouldn't have been able to remove it from the console. So I don't know why they're getting rid of it. Hopefully it's just a mistake, but the fact that it's happened across multiple websites probably means that it's not, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But either way, that's going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider leaving a like. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we've covered in today's video, the VRR support, the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller stuff. What are your thoughts on Legends EA, you know, kind of timescale with this sort of productivity and stuff with it, the Mega Zygarde leak updates, and then also your update, I guess your thoughts and feelings on this, and make sure to go check out this Poke short as well if you do want to. But thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. And until next time, peace.